Hello, tutor and classmates. My name is Anderson Velasco, and together with my classmates Jessica Mateus, Marisol Celis Amado, Blanca Camargo, and Adrián Sedano, we will explain the benefits of using CLIL in the classroom. So let's start. We're going to start with the classmate Jessica Mateus, who is going to do the explanation of the 4Cs framework.
Thank you, Anderson. Cordial greeting to all. My name is Jessica Mateus, and today I will talk about the 4Cs of Content and Language Integrated Learning Approach. So, let's start. Teaching with the CLIL approach is particularly interesting because it allows teachers to have a broader perspective of content and language that can be included in our day-to-day activities. This approach allows to implement a more inclusive and comprehensive process of teaching. It is excellent for exploring students' prior knowledge, guiding them in interesting content, and helping them develop thinking and language skills. The CLIL approach is based on 4 principles. These are cognition, communication, culture, and content. The first is cognition. It allows to help students develop thinking skills for students to relate concepts, knowledge, and language. It is about helping students to reflect, create, and analyze through content tasks, allowing to establish a relationship between content, thought, and learning. The second is communication. It is about helping students develop communication skills through interaction and learning contexts. That is involving the second language as much as possible in the teaching learning process, so that through it is possible to develop skills both receptive and productive, and thus achieve significant language learning. The third is culture. It helps students to be aware of their cultural environment that surrounds them, which allows them to help understand a foreign language, a foreign culture, and how to behave in it by doing relationship and cooperation exercise between cultures. In this way, the students then to be more aware of the reality, to relate language and culture, as well as to be more sociable. Content. As a teacher, we have a duty to create content and lessons that are relevant to our students. The content that is relevant to their day-to-day, it is not just about including a knowledge, but that it becomes meaningful for the students, that helps him develop communication and cognitive skills, as well as to involve the student in the construction of their own learning. In general, these 4 elements are considered a fundamental part of this approach to the development of communicative competence, where each one contributes in an integrated way to achievement of this main objective in the learning of a foreign language. So, thanks for your attention.
Okay, Jessica, that was a good explanation, and this is going to be useful for new teachers to know this information and to implement in the classroom. And now, the classmate Marisol Celis is going to give us a summary of the 6 quality principles.
Hi, classmates. I'm going to talk about the 6 principles of the CLIL proposed for Mayor Oliver in the article. So, the principle 1, which refers to rich input, that is the exposure of students to a wide variety of input sources in the foreign language, including writing text, audiovisual, and practical activities. These principles emphasize the importance of providing students with a rich experience in the language so that they can develop their communicative competence. The principle 2, learning scaffolding, is found at the next level of the pyramid. This principle refers to the need to provide support and guidance so that the students can understand and use the language and content effectively. This may involve the use of strategies such as repetition, restatement, explanation, modeling, and feedback. The principle 3 is rich interaction and pushed production, which refers to the need to improve the students with opportunities to interact and produce in the foreign language in an authentic and meaningful way. This can be achieved through activities involving discussion, debate, group work, and presentations. The principle 4, intercultural dimensions, which emphasize the importance of making students aware of cultural differences and providing them with opportunities to learn about other cultures and ways of life. This can be achieved through the use of authentic materials, fostering empathy and openness to the other cultures and intercultural dialogue. Principle 5 is higher order thinking, which refers to the need to promote the students' critical and creative thinking. This involves the use of activities that challenge students to analyze, synthesize, evaluate, and create in the foreign language and curriculum content. And the last principle is the principle 6, sustainable learning, which refers to the need to foster students' critical awareness of current and future environmental challenge and provide them with opportunities to develop sustainable practice in the classroom and in everyday life. Thank you.
Thank you, Marisol. That was so good and well explained all the 6 principles. Now the classmate Adrián Sedano is going to explain the components of creating and adapting didactic learning materials.
Hi, I'm Adrián Fardo, and I go forward with the next step about the educational system that it is used by the teacher in the CLIL classes. Then it is the next. At present, the CLIL classes are focused on several methods to promote didactic materials to carry out a meaningful and communicative way to learn a language, but all depends on the motivation of the student, especially when his concepts aren't enough. If he understands less than his partners in discussions or is timid, never will solve tasks, for instance. Yes, while the instructor doesn't change the grave mistakes of student information and their mindset, then that learning won't be useful. Therefore, in this case, the teacher must be a leader that fosters new concepts on critical reflections. The most important thing is being patient because they practice with materials in a specific group. It is only the only solution to maintain the long term memory. Yes, and keeping communication flowing every day. Students must be literate with the help of textbooks, images, and videos about intercultural dialogues. And the teacher set up feedback with his feelings. Yes. And positive attitude to lead accuracy of his skills. The instructor never has to lose the subject idea when he leading participating learners with him, because it is different. Why the basic senses and student attitudes could be exhausted by the disorder and blame his neglect, yes, on the academic principles. Summarizing, the brief idea is changing known words for current meanings. Interchange chatting freely with friends and chatting on inconspicuous exams given by their master. Yes, that it is the idea related to this subject, because there are a lot of strategies that could be useful in this stage. In this case, the teacher must be like a father, because being a father has the feelings that serve for carry on the planning, and also the method that give the ideas, and also is the second theme. Yeah, for example, I can bring into my brain, for example, brain games. Yes, then another person could be thinking, for example, I need newspapers, but if I mix that content, I could take the approach in this topic and join the topic of my partner with my topic. Yes, in this case, I would be new literacy, but it is the same that if I would be a new student, because I can take approach with the world content everywhere. Yes, this is my perception. Thanks. Bye.
And finally, classmate Blanca Camargo is going to give us a presentation and explanation of the CLIL pyramid.
Hello, welcome to this new encounter. My name is Blanca Juliana, and for this new encounter, I will talking about the CLIL pyramid. Okay, welcome. The CLIL pyramid is an important tool to organize our content and design quality process which allow the effective development of the educational relationship in optimal conditions. This pyramid develops its functionally in different stages, but all the stages are based on the tenets of the 4 C's frameworks that our partner Jessica explained in the last part. These pyramids have 4 stages, and all the stages have the step that we need identify for develop a good process, optimal process with our students, or when we are planning our material. In the first stage, we have topic selection. In this stage, the starting point is the selection. We need to identify and have a definition of the subject. Our topic is very important for start our process. This will be the base and foundation of the entire development of the process. The second stage is choice of media. In this stage, the trainer will establish which are the most useful tools in the construction of the process. In this stage, different tools can be implemented that along the strengthening of basic linguistic skills. Here, tools such, for example, like videos, maps, tables, clips, among others, can be used. For the use of the activities, the skill of the learners must be taken into account, thus giving an adequate distribution of each of the strategies to be implemented. The stage number 3, task design. In the third phase, the importance of the optimal implementation of the strategies is evident, is very evident, which allow the interaction of the learners with the content in an optimal way. The relationship must strengthen the capacity, the skills, and each one of the linguistic skills always looking for the best strategy, for the best way the people have and develop an optimal communication process. Therefore, in the stage number 4, we have the stage CLIL workout. In this phase, it will be noted what was the progress that each of the characters had, and it will be determined what are the shortcomings and the scaffolding that must be implemented in order to optimize the educational process by using the tools that facilitate the straight time and construction of a strong knowledge. It's very important that we implement these parameters when we develop, plan, and produce our material. Thank you.
That was excellent. And now to conclude, we can say that applying the CLIL in the classroom will really help the teacher. In summary, creating and adapting didactic learning materials for CLIL involves identifying learning objectives, selecting appropriate content, integrating language and content, adapting materials as needed, incorporating authentic materials, and providing scaffolding and supporting and incorporating assessment. So that is our video, and we hope that you like this video. So thanks and goodbye.